Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Now, I know in the last video I said we were going to do some work under the engine bay, but there's been a bit of a change of plan. So I was on eBay last night, it got a little bit dangerous, and I've made a couple of purchases. So we're on the way to pick them up now, and that will change the direction of this video today. So we're going to jump in the Volkswagen Crafter. We're going to take a little trip up north. We're going to Preston and we're going to Wakefield, and then we'll see what we've got. That's the goodies loaded up. On to the next stop. Now, while I'm in Yorkshire, it'd be rude not to head up to U-Pullet at York. About an hour away on the sat nav. So I'm going to head up there now and just have a look what they've got. Not really looked on the website, but I always like to have a little browse around there and usually find something interesting. So I'll see you there. Looks like they've had a rebrand. It's now Copart Recycling rather than U-Pullet, but still the same place, still the same process. Well, it was worth a little trip up. Managed to bag myself a set of Highline Scirocco clocks, which I need for the van. Didn't need to be Scirocco, but these will do the job. Just need to get them coded, and that's another little thing ticked off the list. Back home, and here we have it. 2 new doors, something I've been after since the start of January. I've been after a set of doors in good nick. Trying to get a driver's door is almost impossible for these vans. There's a few passenger doors that I've seen come up, but driver's doors are almost impossible. Any sort of accident, they always take the hit. If a car comes into you, it always takes the hit. Just seems to never be any about. And the vans of these that do get written off, they don't often get broken for spares, because if they're repairable, they get repaired, obviously because of the value. But I managed to find a driver's door. Now, these 2 doors together cost me more than the whole van cost me when I bought it. So the van was £600, this door was £375, and this door was £300. So yeah, biggest purchase so far for the van, and bar probably the respray and an engine swap down the line, this is going to be the most money I'm going to have to spend. But it's the one thing I've been sort of putting off. It's the one thing, well, it's not been putting it off, but it's just been hard to find. I've always kept my eye open for it. Luckily, I had the money there, and the doors came up at the right time. They were really close to each other. They're only 20 minutes apart up north, so I grabbed them. And like I say, like you saw in the video, also grabbed myself some of these bad boys. They're not going to go on the van anytime soon. I need to get the van sort of running properly, then I'm going to get them and the van sent off to be coded to match, because these won't work for now because the immobiliser is all in there, so I need that unlocking. But back to the doors. As you can see, different colours, one's white, one's silver, so it adds to the theme of the van, multi-colours. That is the same silver as my front bumper, so it won't look too bad. Front left side is going to look right, and that is not the same white, because it's obviously the newer white. It's a bit more glossy than the white one, but they're all getting painted, doesn't matter too much, but they're in pretty good nick. They're both in various different stages. So this van is pretty much bare. This has got a bit more on it. So I've got no mirror, no door handle. I've got wiring loom. I've got speaker, which doesn't matter because I've already got aftermarket speakers. No window wiper, sorry, no window, no regulator. So I'm gonna have to take the window and regulator out my other door. bang it in this. I'll probably take the wiring loom out of my other door as well, because I know it works. Not saying this wiring loom doesn't work, but it's off the newer van, so it might not work exactly the same, whereas I know mine works. Again, swap my speaker over. We also need to put the lock mechanism and the latch in there, so that's a completely bare door. This door is a bit more built up. It's got the door handle, it's got the lack, it's got the mechanism. I'll need to change this out anyway, obviously, for my own door. Actually no, I won't. Only the key bit, which is on the opposite side door, so that can stay as it is. I've got a glass, got a bit of glass. I've got a full door card, which potentially will be getting sold, because I'm not doing a Mark 4 interior swap, I don't think. I've also, obviously, probably in there got a speaker, regulator, wiring loom, etc. This door also comes with a power folding mirror. My van doesn't have power folding mirrors at the minute, but I am going to use this one. I'm going to leave it on because I have got the switches and the wiring for it, so I'll be interested to see if the wiring matches up and this will work, because I've obviously got the wiring loom out of a Turan in my van, so if I can get these to work, that'd be really nice. I am replacing it with a Caddy Life mirror at some point in the near future, before the van gets painted, but the wiring's the same, so if it works, happy days, that's one thing ticked off. What I'm going to need to do is get these doors stripped down to the bare, so I need to take the loom out, take speaker off that one. On this one I need to take the door card off, take the loom out, take what else will I take off? Probably leave the rest, probably just take the door card off, because then at least I can test that the regulator's working, sort the wiring loom out, etc, etc. And then I'm going to need to take the doors off of my van. I'm going to need to strip them down, transfer over what I need and what I want to keep, and then get the doors back on the van. What I'm probably going to do is strip the doors first while they're on the van, then undo them and lift them off, because it makes it easier to carry. They're obviously quite heavy. This one weighs about half as much as this one at the minute. So I'm going to strip the doors first, take them off, put these doors on, and then rebuild them. And that's going to be the easiest for me, because I'm going to be doing this on my own. They should fit straight in the arch. There's no in the arch. Sorry, they should fit straight in the frame. There's no difference in the body shape. I hope that the locks just match up nicely. There's always some little adjustments that you need to do. Every van is slightly different from the factory. I hope the wiring works straight off. Hope the locks work straight off. And yeah, I hope the door cards match up. I have been told from reading that some of these holes for the door cards are in slightly different places. Some of the clips, some of these holes. So we'll have to see about that. If they are slightly different, it's not a problem. I can measure up, I can drill holes, I can make it fit. But we'll see how easy it is, see how much of a plug and play swap it is. And then what that'll also allow us to do is come around here. It's going to allow us to match up these lines on the wing. Get the door in the right place, get the lines matching, and then hopefully we're not far off paint then. It's just a rear bumper needed and some mirrors. But I'll start doing the body prep, so I'll start with these dents, stuff like that, get them all smooth, filled, painted, well, primered. Get all of the areas on the body done as best I can before we need to paint it. It's Saturday at the minute, it's sort of Saturday evening. I've been out all day driving, getting these parts, so I'm going to do a little bit while I can. I'll probably strip these doors down this evening, but it's going to get dark soon, so I'll probably end up doing this tomorrow in the morning. Unfortunately, neither of these doors are perfect. They both have got a slight mark on them. So this one is a bit more obvious in the light. Scuff there, scuff there. The actual shape of the door, the profile of the door is sound, but it's got a little scuff. Nothing, a little bit of sanding, a bit of, what's the word, glazing putty over that, not even filler. Just want smoothing over and painting. Obviously the door's getting resprayed, so it's not a problem. This door is a similar thing. Ignore that, that's just dirt. But there's a little dent there, as you can see in the light. So we need to get that same thing, filled, painted. But again, whole door's getting painted, whole door's getting painted, whole van's getting painted. So we'll get the doors on and we'll sort the little marks out when we sort out the rest of the marks on the van. Right, I've taken the passenger door off and there's a little side-by-side comparison. So you can see there are some differences. A lot of the holes are in different places. Like we've got one at the top there, which on this one doesn't exist. A couple on the bottom, which don't exist. We've got one big difference, which is this, is one sort of removable section that comes out, whereas that door's completely sealed up. Looking at the connectors on the loom, they all seem the same. Also, want to add, this has got the DAB radio in the mirror, so that's where the receptor is for the DAB radio, which is nice. I'm going to keep that because I will be using the DAB. I will be using the DAB radio at some point. I need to change the speaker over for definite to that one, so that means drilling out the rivets, taking that out. I'm going to try and leave this door as is, with the motor, the regulator, the loom. I'm going to drop it on the van, plug it in, and just see what works, if anything, because there's a lot more differences than I thought. And then I've got to find a way to get the door card attached. I don't really want to run the Mark 4 door cards, because that would mean getting a Mark 4 dash as well, which I don't like them as much as the Turans. I think the Turan dash is pretty smooth and pretty nicely designed, and something a bit different. But I've got to try and get it to fit, so I'm going to try and measure out where the holes are, mark them down, maybe end up drilling them. I have also noticed on the door that there's differences in the seal. So on here we've got one continuous rubber seal all the way around, and on these doors we don't. So on both there is no rubber seal. I've looked and there is a seal on the inside of the van which the door will meet. So whether they've just changed the design on it slightly, the door shape's slightly different and it just sits more flush against that seal, I don't know. But again, I just want to drop the door on. It's easy enough to drop on down there just to get an idea of how different it is. But yeah, maybe no, because these haven't been removed. I was thinking maybe to remove that. It's only see how it's attached, and then maybe I could drop it onto that one as well. But the previous owners, there'd be no reason for them to remove that seal. We'll see. I'm glad I just checked before I did this, because these connectors are completely different. So that, as you can see, is all just pins. This one has got a different fixture on the bottom. I think that is for the that's for the aerial. the DAB aerial. So I'm not going to be able to do what I've just said I'm going to do. The DAB aerial will have to be, I'll have to take those pins out of there. I'll take the wires, keep them separate, split them from the loom. I'll leave the wires in there, but I will have to change the looms over. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to, yeah, I'm going to take the looms out. Is proving to be a lot trickier than I first thought. A lot of trial and errors going into this. There's no guides for it online anywhere. I'm sure there's a few people out there that have already done it, but there's not many, and no one's telling you how to do it. That is the locking mechanism from my old Caddy. Where is it? That is the new one. So the connectors on here are very different. So that's the connector on the old one. The new one is an inline connector. So there's the old loom connector, just there, look. And on the new one, it is just there like that. So you can see the difference between that one and that one. Now, I can't, unfortunately, what I was trying to do originally, I took the door handle out of my old door. I was going to put that in and connect my old lock to my old door handle. Job done. Use my old loom. Everything works. Unfortunately, the hole for the door handle is slightly different because they changed the design of the door handle. So let me come up here where there's a bit more light. So there we have the two door handles. One is a bit longer than the other. The screws are a little bit different, and the actual holes in the body are slightly different as well. It's hard to see from there. Anyway, moral of the story is I can't fit that onto my new door, so I have to use the new handle. So what I'm going to have to do is re-pin this connector into this connector. Now, problem is, again, there's not really any diagrams I can find on how to do this, and this is all just white leads. There's no colour coding to make it easier for me. It's not like I can go, right, brown's into slot number 4, yellow's in slot number 4, because they're all white. So I'm going to trace it back all the way to this connector just here, and I can see where they go in. They go in there as 4 connectors. Now that is the same as that one, so I will be able to see what goes into where. So I'm going to put them next to each other, and sort of I'll just swap exactly the one. So I'll take one out of that hole, and then whichever goes into the corresponding hole on this side, I will put into that one, etc, etc. So I should hopefully be able to get these 4, the 6 cables that go into there. I'll have the same ones coming out of here down to that, and then that should plug in. It's a big if. But fingers crossed. And then that should be that door good to go. The other door, in my investigation, I realised that my window regulator won't work with it. I can't remove it from here. Well, I can remove it from here, but it's got different fixings. So this is riveted onto there, and these are screwed in. So I'm going to need to get myself a regulator for this door. I can use the motor and the module and everything else, which is on the floor down there. So I can use that, but I will need to get a new regulator for it. I've got the wiring loom for it down there. So yeah, just need a new window regulator for that door. I can use my glass. The glass is fine. So it's just a regulator. Yeah, bit of a bummer. It's taking me a lot longer than I thought. It's getting pretty dark outside now. So I'm gonna have to call it a day because I'm squinting using the light. I'm gonna pick this back up tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be able to get this door on the van, windows working, door locking, and then I shall order a regulator for that door. And when that comes, I'll get the other door sorted out as well.